guys, Kaori over here, and today I've got a very, very special guest, my good friend, Michael.
Michael Alexis Medina.
Michael Alexis Medina. So if you never knew his middle name, there you have it.
It's important.
So what we're going to do is we are going to shoot the shit about our favorite topics, movies, TV, video games, and of course, since October is right around the corner, we're going to talk Halloween.
I love Halloween. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
Halloween is definitely American favorite, I would say. Did you know that in some countries it doesn't exist?
That's just weird. That's just weird. Do you know in some countries Thanksgiving doesn't exist?
That's just
crazy.
That's just weird.
That's crazy.
Well, some countries never have pilgrims, so
I find that hard to believe.
that was a little terrible. But anyway, so let's talk about movies first, and let's talk about some of the movies that came and went this summer, or might even still be in certain theaters that you really enjoyed, or you disliked, or you were disappointed by, or surprised by in good ways. So go ahead.
Well, I've seen a few movies. One movie that really stood out to me was Kubo and the Two Strings.
Okay.
I loved that movie.
Most people did.
Did you? I take it you didn't?
I didn't. I didn't like it.
That movie was so good.
Okay, well, so you can tell me why you liked it.
Without going into too much detail, no spoilers or anything, spoiler free. It's just the story. It just was a very beautiful story. They didn't rewrite anything new. It was just it was what it was. It was a story we've all kind of heard before, just presented a little differently. But it was just a beautiful film to look at. I thought the story was very touching. It was very emotional, which I thought was really good. Overall, at the end of one of the things that I always like to, take into mind when I'm watching a movie or TV show is after, when it's all said and done, am I still thinking about this?
Yeah,
do I still like this? And I couldn't stop thinking about that movie. And I love that whole studio. I love what they did, like films like, I loved Coraline. I thought Paranorman was great. I actually just recently watched The Box Trolls. That was one that I missed, so I saw it and I loved it. This was probably my favorite of theirs.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
okay,
I really like this movie.
Okay. I didn't like it very much, but I think it has to do with the fact that it culturally bothered me, because
I could see that.
It was me being Japanese and growing up in, like, my dad used to always tell me Japanese fairy tales, and it just felt flat. It felt like the writer read a brochure and said, okay, then we're going to write about this way. It just didn't feel...
That's a fair point, because, again, you would have, a little more insight than someone like I would have. So, obviously, these are little things that I wouldn't see and most people wouldn't. So, that's a fair point.
But, it was beautifully done, and I do love the characters as individuals, but I just felt like a lot of it fell flat. Like, they didn't explain really origami, or I just felt like I wish that they had more insight into this is what this is about. Like the whole dead thing, that's a whole week-long festival when everyone takes a week off and they celebrate the dead. It's just things like that, and I think most Japanese people will be like, but I don't know. And also, okay, aside from that, I felt that it was kind of rushed. I would love to have them have an explanation why there's three specific things. The helmet was important, why the armor was important, and why the sword was important, other than it was unbreakable. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that makes sense.
So, I am a hater of that movie.
Well, I still like it.
Most people did, and I'm a terrible human being. Someone's texting Michael saying, how dare she not like that movie?
What?
No, I'm just
kidding. It was great.
Get her off! Anyway, so, any other movies that you enjoyed?
One movie that I liked, it's funny, so this is a movie that a lot of people just thought was amazing, and I loved it, but it's not, like, my favorite. It was Civil War.
Oh,
a lot of people, it's a movie that a lot of people like, this is the best. Some people that I know thought it was their favorite Marvel film, and they're not wrong. It was really good. It was a well-done action film.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Winter Soldier is still my number one, but it was a film that, again, I just remember, like, okay, this was really done well. The way they handled all the characters, the airport scene was phenomenal. To this, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I thought this was the best representation, a film representation of Spider-Man. I thought it was really spot on. Like, it really felt like I was seeing a real-life Spider-Man, like, jump straight out the pages of the comic books onto the screen, and I loved it.
And I agree with you, because he had a lot of personality in it, compared to other Spider-Mans.
All the quips, Spider-Man's a smartass.
And he was, like, very youthful, which was very refreshing, because a lot of times...
this was the youngest Spider-Man we've ever really seen.
Like, there was a candor to him that I could really appreciate.
I don't just mean age-wise, because obviously, like, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they were great, but they were obviously older. I don't mean it that way. He felt more youthful.
Like the spirit.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
And that really worked for me.
Yeah. Okay, that was a good movie. I would agree with you. I saw Don't Breathe. I thought Don't Breathe was really good. Did you see
I
that?
haven't seen it, but I've been hearing really good things.
I thought it was definitely not scary as much as suspenseful. If you know, it ain't like Saw. You're not gonna find that guy in there. But I thought the idea is really interesting. How it's a blind guy chasing after burglars in his house. That was
You're not
surprisingly
the
good.
first person that I've heard say that, where they were kind of led to believe one thing going into the movie, but it ended up being something different.
Yes.
And so I guess maybe they kind of reminds me of like the movie The Witch earlier this year. I believe that movie came out.
I never heard of that movie, but sure.
Yeah, it was a movie that was kind of promoted to be kind of scary. I think some people that I know that went to see it thought it was going to be this really scary film, and it really wasn't scary in the traditional sense. Right. It wasn't a slasher. It wasn't anything like that. I loved it for what it was, but yeah, I could see how a movie like that could be misleading.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of. I saw a lot of movies, and honestly, this summer wasn't filled with a lot of blockbusters. I did enjoy Blake Lively's Shark movie. That was good.
I didn't get around to watching that one, but it's funny because I've heard, you're not the only person that said that. I've heard some other people say that it was actually pretty solid. I'm like, well, that's good. Good for her. The Shallows, I believe.
The Shallows, thank you.
Yeah, but no, good for her. I mean, it seemed a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, but no, I'm glad that it was doing okay.
Yeah, and I also saw Central Intelligence.
Okay.
Did you see that one?
I stayed away from that one.
Okay, well, if it wasn't for The Rock and Kevin Hart,
and I like both those guys.
It would have reeked.
Yeah.
Those two made that movie. That's what I'm going to say.
It was one of those films that just reminded me a little too much of what we'd already seen already with him and Ice Cube. So I was like, I think I'm going to skip this one. But, I mean, those guys...
They ain't going to stop making those kind of movies, though.
Hollywood is never going to stop making those movies. That's why we've had, like, 48 Hours. We've had so many movies like that. It's never going to stop. But, no, those guys on their own are great. And together, I'm sure they work well together. They look funny. I know we've got Jumanji coming out, and they're supposed to be in there as well.
Yeah,
so,
Jumanji's coming out. That's going to be an interesting one. Because I haven't seen the original. Isn't that crazy?
You still haven't seen it?
I know.
Really? It's good. It's good.
I know. It's
That's
insane.
20 years?
There's a lot of movies that I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen The Godfather.
Oh, you need to do that.
I know.
I'm like, the first two are great.
I know. It's insane.
The third one is... It's the third one.
But most of the time...
You should still see it.
Unless it's Lord of the Rings, most of the time it kind of goes down.
Well, this goes down in a big way. But then again, to be fair, you're comparing 3 to 1 and 2, which are two of the greatest films of all time. So there's that. But anyways...
What other movies? I saw Sully, which I thought was pretty good. I was disappointed in Life with Pets, or Life of Pets.
Oh, that looked like a cute movie.
It was super cute, and it had a Pomeranian in there, so
that
really helped. But it's still just, I think they relied so much on the cute factor, and it worked because obviously a lot of people are going to go there, even just adults with their kids or whatever, and it made money. But
that's really, there's a formula to Hollywood where it's just like, you get these family films, and there's so many animated films out now. It's not just Disney and Pixar. No. And you got family films.
You get confused sometimes. Yeah. Who did that?
Those movies make money. Mm-hmm. They just do, because families bring their whole families to go see them, you know what I mean? So those are all movie tickets. It's like 4 or 5 people in a family. Sure. So they're always going to keep churning them out. They're not always going to be winners, but, they are what they are.
And what movies, other than Jumanji, speaking of movies that you're looking forward to, what movies are you looking forward to?
I think the big one, because I love Star Wars so much, Rogue One. That's the one. It's funny, because when I watched the trailers for The Force Awakens, like everyone else, I was excited, but I didn't lose my mind like some people did.
Me neither.
I lost my mind the first time I watched the Rogue One trailer. Like that first trailer, I just went insane, because this was the first time that I felt like they were really venturing outside the norm. I felt like, if you've ever read any of the expanded universe stories, it felt like they were finally exploring that world, because one of the things I always loved about the expanded universe, and I know a lot of that stuff no longer is canon, they have a new canon now, but what I loved about the expanded universe was that world always felt grittier and darker than what we were shown in the films. Not that the films weren't gritty and dark themselves, but it just felt like with these films you were seeing more of the seedier side, the darker side of the universe, the galaxy. So they'd focus more on bounty hunters or just smugglers, more guys like Han and Lando, And so I always loved that, and I feel like with this film we're getting a little bit more of that, even though I know it takes place prior to the events of Episode 4, but I feel like we're seeing more of that. So, and I think plus I feel like, and I'm sure everyone at this point has seen The Force Awakens, so it's basically a reboot in a way of Episode 4, pretty much.
Kind of.
And so they played it safe. This film, I feel like they're really taking chances. They're really doing something to make them put out a Star Wars film that's really different from the rest of the pack. So that's why I'm really excited.
Do you think that, along with a lot of the rumors, that Felicity Jones' character is going to be Daisy Ridley's character's mom?
Honestly, I hope not.
I know, right?
I hope not, because I feel like what's happening, it's such a cop-out to have everyone connected in this universe. Not everyone has to be a Skywalker. Not everyone has to be, I don't know, connected to maybe Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a huge galaxy that they live in. Just drop it all together, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, Daisy, geez, I'm like blanking out right now. Daisy Ridley, like, her character doesn't need to be related to anyone. Just make her own character. Make her badass. She's a great character on her own. Just leave it at that. Don't cop out.
I think the only thing is people do want to see where she comes from and her backstory, but
That's fine.
predict that we're going to get that in Episode 8 or maybe Episode 9. We don't need to get it in this Rogue One one. That's a good one that you're looking forward to. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to Queen of Cotway, whatever how you pronounce that. I heard
the
really
chess
good one. Yes.
film. That looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah. I like those kind of movies, and Disney tends to do pretty well with live action films, except for like Pirates of the Caribbean 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 100. After a while, you're like, oh. Yeah. I get it. Johnny Depp's an insane pirate. I understand.
Well, I mean, again, it's Disney, right? So it's a film that there's going to be a lot of heart.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of emotions. It's going to be a struggle, a lot of ups and downs, but it looks like a really good movie. It's a great story, one that I'm not familiar with. So I'm definitely excited to see this.
And I'm looking forward to a lot of movies that they don't have release dates necessarily, but Disney's Beauty and the Beast live action. Mm-hmm. That looks good. Have you seen the teaser trailers?
I have. It could be good. I mean, I don't know how I feel about all these live action Disney films. I don't know.
Did you see Cinderella?
No, I've only seen the Jungle Book so far.
Boom! I didn't see Jungle Book.
Jungle Book was
awesome. I wasn't big on the cartoon.
See,
anyway.
I did love the cartoon.
Okay, there
but I
you
thought
go.
the movie was amazing, and I'm not trying to be biased because I love the animated film, but I did. It's one of my all-time favorite Disney's. But this film was just really good. Mm-hmm. I was just like, great, now here we go. Now they're going to start making live-action versions of every single animated film.
They are. I'm curious to see how they're going to do Dumbo, because that's been announced a while ago. I mean,
I have no idea.
I don't know. That's going to be wild. And also,
I'm still wishing they would go back to 2D animation. I miss those days.
Those are amazing. When you think about the hand-drawn.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's just such a shame that we're out of that era.
It is. Thank you for saying that.
I wish they'd go back.
I completely agree.
Because what is The Princess and the Frog, they went back to it. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty movie, and I don't know, it wasn't a film that a lot of people loved. I really liked that movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I thought it was a good story. It was a good film. And again, they went back to hand-drawn animation. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. So I wish they'd go back.
I'm also curious to see what they're going to make with the Mulan live action. I feel like it's going to be grittier because it's war.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's got to be a little darker. Again, it's not animated, so they can push it a little bit further.
Do you think they're going to hire a white person to play Mulan?
We'll see. We'll see.
Who knows? Also, there's a lot of movies. Oh, I like Tomb Raider. How they're gonna reboot it with
Alicia Vikander, who I love. She was great in I haven't seen was Danish Girl.
Yeah,
I didn't see that, but I loved Ex Machina. I thought it was a great film. That's a really good film. You know, if you guys watch Black Mirror at all, I don't know if you've ever seen Black Mirror. It's kind of like a modern Twilight Zone. Oh. It's on Netflix. It's only 2 seasons. We've got a 3rd season coming up. That show's great. It kind of felt like an episode, like a longer episode of Black Mirror. It's really good. But no, she's a great actress. She won the Academy Award. She's phenomenal. So I actually like her. It's funny because I'm actually I remember back when the original films came out with Angelina Jolie.
How do you not know her name?
Yeah, right. It's like, what's her name? Has she done anything?
Is she relevant in gossip news lately?
Yeah, no, I was never really excited, but now I feel like with this cast, and plus I feel like lately video game films, they're trying to take them a little bit more seriously. I know we had Warcraft that came out, and it was what it was.
I liked Warcraft.
Well, that's the thing. Some people loved it, and some people didn't. But I feel like what we're seeing right now is we're seeing them take it a little bit more seriously. So we see Michael Fassbender with Assassin's Creed, and then now this with Tomb Raider. So I'm really looking forward to Tomb Raider. Plus, I'm not the biggest Tomb Raider fan, but I loved the last 2 games, Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was my game of the year last year, Rise of Tomb Raider. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's what they're totally basing Alicia Vikander's version
I'm sure.
of Lara Croft.
Those are great games. So.
Yeah. So you mentioned Netflix, and so what other TV shows have you been watching this past summer?
One show that I really loved was The Night Of. You know?
Yes.
Have you seen The Night Of?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a really good show.
Complete like knockoff of Adnan Syed, even though it was kind of written before.
Well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was a BBC show.
Okay.
Which was brought over. I don't remember. I think it's got a few seasons. Excuse me, but every season is something different. I don't know if that's... Thank you. I don't know if that's the case with the BBC series or not, but I know this show, it's different. But no, it was a show that I was really looking forward to. And I remember HBO streamed that first episode a few weeks before the actual premiere date. And so I watched it, and the second that episode was done, I was like, I need more right now.
Yeah.
It was so good. I'm not going to lie, I was a little on the fence with the way they tied up everything at the end.
Yeah, no, I'm on team.
Some people loved it, and I didn't hate it, and it certainly did not ruin the overall experience.
No.
Overall, I loved it. It was a great show. Again, not trying to spoil anything. It's basically about this guy that gets arrested for the possible murder of a young girl, and then we'll just go from there. But it was really good, the way it was presented. Very realistic approach to, the courts, and just how they go through.
How corrupt it could be, how many things they could miss just because they want to close a trial real quick.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to see a lot of that on, if you decide, and you should watch the show because it's really good.
It's really good, and I think the way you described the ending and how it didn't take away from it, that's how I felt about Stranger Things. I know I'm in the minority, but the ending sucked for me.
You know, it's funny. So I'm with you.
You are?
No, well, not for the ending.
Oh.
But for Stranger Things as a whole. Stranger Things was another one of those shows that I loved. Absolutely loved that show. It was a show that I remember watching the trailers for thinking, okay, this looks like it could be good. And then I watched it, and I just couldn't. And I remember I started watching it just before Comic-Con. I think I watched the first maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
Okay.
And then I went to Comic-Con, and I was very busy over there, and so I didn't have time to watch anything over there. But all I could think about was like, man, I can't wait till I get home to finish up Stranger Things because it was so good. And yeah, I mean, the ending didn't blow me away. It wasn't like this ending's fantastic, but I still thought it was good. It was enjoyable. Even though at the time season 2 wasn't announced, the show became such a phenomenon that's like, there's no way we're not getting a season 2, and we obviously are getting one.
They have to live up to that hype, though. It's going to be
That's always going to be hard.
Tough,
I think, to be fair, no, and this is the same for like anything, like movies, TV shows, video games, whatever. It's hard to live up to the hype. Nothing's ever going to live up to the hype. So that's why I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic.
Okay.
The show itself is good. One of the things I love about the show, though, is that the kids, in Hollywood, a lot of kid actors, it's hard to find really solid ones, really good child actors. Let's look at like Harry Potter. A lot of people love Harry Potter. When those kids first started, they weren't good.
You don't think so?
Oh, they weren't good. They were not good actors. They were cute. They were fun to watch, but they weren't good actors.
Okay.
As the films progressed and they got a little older, started learning their craft a little bit more, they got better. Way better. So then by the end of the series, these kids who were at the time, I guess young adults at that point, were good actors and have become, really good actors. So we've seen like Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson. They're good actors now, but in the beginning, they weren't. And that's just the case with most, child actors. There are a few that are awesome. Was it Tatum O'Neal, I believe, won like an Academy Award back in the Academy Award back in like the 70s. So there are a few out there, but these kids were awesome.
Yeah.
These kids are so good.
They were the show.
Absolutely. And what I loved, again, it had, and I'm sure everyone said this, so I'm not saying anything new, it did have that Spielberg vibe to it. It was a little darker than your traditional Spielberg film, but it had that good, I don't know, something that we've been missing for a long time. And I've got Goonies playing on in the background right now and stuff, so it kind of had that vibe to it.
Well, the ending had a very M. Night Shyamalan ending to it, which made that was a problem.
It's good or bad.
Right.
Some people.
For me, was like, that? That's what happened? It became really easy to do this and that. Yeah. But I have been watching, I think I told you to watch Penny Dreadful because that was a good one.
I need to finish that. I'm still on season 2.
It's so good.
3 seasons, I think, and it's done. Like, done.
It's done. So it's really quick. They're like 8 episodes at most, 8, 9.
I think I'm on episode 2, I think, of season 2.
Yeah.
So I gotta finish it. It's good, though.
It's good. It's really good. I really, really enjoyed that. And I know I'm going a year behind, but I turned on HBO Go because I canceled my cable, so now I'm relying on streaming devices, which is great. saves a lot of money.
Cut
I don't
the
know why
cord.
cable's so
Cut the
expensive.
cord.
But I've been watching The Jinx, or I watched The Jinx. Have you seen
Is that on HBO?
Yes, you need to watch it.
No, I have not.
Okay, I'm almost going to be like, after this, while I eat, we watch it. Because it's about a murderer,
Okay.
Robert Durst, and it's a documentary,
Okay.
6 episodes, and just how he got away with murder,
Okay.
pretty much. Allegedly. He denies that he did it, but it's insane. Basically, he murdered, allegedly, 3 different people. He went to trial for 1 person.
Wow.
He admits during this trial that he dismembered the guy, but he says it's out of self-defense. It's so crazy.
Jeez.
And he got acquitted. And you're
Wow.
like, okay, awesome, Texas. Good job. Anyway, that is such a good show, and I highly recommend it.
Well, you know, another show I love is People vs. OJ. Have you seen that?
No.
That show's
I'm
awesome.
sure it gives you crazy perspective because
It's
we grew
so
up, we were
good.
knee deep in there.
Well, and that's the thing. Obviously, like, you know, when you're a kid, it's like I remember seeing that on TV, not
Yeah.
knowing. All I knew at the time was, oh, that's O.J. Simpson. I know he used to play football before, you know, I was born, but I remembered him from like the Naked Gun films.
Yeah.
And so I knew who he was. Everybody did.
Yeah.
And it's funny. And it's just when you look at how much stuff happened, especially now living out here, a lot of the references, like when they covered like the chase. Back then when I was growing up in Chicago, I didn't know about the 405 or anything like that. But now when they make references, I'm like, oh my goodness, the 405 was probably a nightmare. You know?
I mean, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I need to see that, but even just looking at the trailer or previews, it throws me back to turning on the TV and automatically it was just O.J. Simpson.
For a good solid, like, what, year and a half, maybe almost
Crazy.
2 years, that was it. That was all we saw on TV. But no, the performances were so good. Courtney B. Vance, Sarah Paulson, great actors, even prior to the People vs. O.J., but they just really brought it, and I feel like the whole John Travolta was great. David Schwimmer was really good as Robert Kardashian. It was just a really good show. I actually like Cuba Gooding Jr. I know some people that are kind of like, he was okay. I liked him. I thought his portrayal of O.J. was solid. It's a show I think you should definitely watch.
I need to.
I don't remember how many episodes. It's not a lot. Maybe 10 episodes, maybe, roughly.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Something like that. But it's funny because I was talking to some friends of mine about this, and we were talking about who we think would be the modern day OJ if something like this happened. Who would be the equivalent? Because just to give you perspective, if maybe you were too young or you weren't even born yet when all this happened, and I was like, the only person I can think of that would be the equivalent of what OJ was back then would be The Rock today. If something like this happened with The Rock, that I think would be the equivalent because he's so, for the most part, universally loved. I don't know one person that's like, oh, I can't stand The Rock. He's very charismatic. Everyone seems to love The Rock. So if The Rock one day, if it came out that The Rock murdered his girlfriend or wife or whatnot, and then we see him on TV like in a chase,
my God, that's insane.
but that's what it was like back then. That's
idea.
who OJ was back then. So The Rock would be the modern day equivalent if that were to happen. Just to give you a little perspective of just how big of a deal that was.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And he got away with it, but he's serving, karma gets back to him. He's in jail now, right?
Yeah.
For other things.
Just making mistakes.
That show is coming on to Netflix. And
Wait, People vs. OJ?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go.
So I'm excited about that, and also I'm excited about the Amanda Knox trials coming to Netflix. They're having a documentary on that. You know the Amanda Knox trial?
No.
Well, I'm obsessed with crime. If you haven't noticed,
Clearly, yeah.
like, I find that.
Which is no surprise you haven't watched the People vs. OJ. Then.
I know, but I think I need to. I will watch it. I prefer binge watching anyway.
Okay.
So I think the Netflix way is probably better for me anyway. But what other shows are you looking forward to?
One show. Oh, okay. Well, there's 2. One is Westworld. When I was a little kid, it's a film I haven't seen since I was a little kid, so my memory of the film's a little hazy. I've got to go back and watch. We see like Yul Brynner. Westworld, basically, it's kind of like these people go on this getaway. It's kind of fantasy. It's all comprised of robots, so that's why you see some guys living out like Wild West fantasies. And these robots kind of go a little crazy. And then, so it gets a little nutty, basically. Now, it's a film. But this is going to be a series on HBO. It looks fantastic. Cool. Good cast. I'm really excited. The other thing I'm looking forward to is actually, we just got in the news recently, maybe as recently as yesterday, maybe the day before, is Sherlock. And 2 episodes. Have you watched that show?
No.
Oh, that show's phenomenal.
But I know I would like that
2 episodes. Each season is 3 episodes long, and they released.
That's 3 episodes.
But they're like 80 minutes long. They're long.
Is this the one with
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah, Butthead.
Martin Freeman. Yeah. Okay.
He looks like Butthead. For me, but he's a great actor. So.
I love Benedict
Me
Cumberbatch.
too.
Both those guys together. If you haven't seen it, those guys together are like peanut butter and jelly. They work so well together. But they revealed the names of two of the episodes for this last season. They haven't revealed the third episode. The title for the third episode.
Nice.
But again, each episode is like 80-something minutes, so they're long episodes. I know they had a Christmas special. Was it the end of last year,
so
early
British.
this year? Yeah. But it wasn't like in the traditional. It was more like a throwback episode. It's a traditional Sherlock Holmes.
I'm excited to hear that.
No, I'm excited. So I love this show so much. I think there's only it's been sold. I mean, you gotta understand. This show started like 3-4 years, maybe even longer. I don't even know. But it's on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix, and you can watch it. It's 2 seasons right now. I don't know if that special is on Netflix. I gotta check. But 2 seasons. They're each about 3 episodes long. Again, like I said, around 80-something minutes.
Okay.
But those two guys together are so good. It's a fantastic show.
It's like a length of a cartoon movie.
Yeah. Say that.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, let's move on to the world of video games.
Mm-hmm.
What games have you been playing this summer?
It's funny. Summer is always kind of a slow time for me because we don't get that many new games during the summer. So summer has always been my time to play old games or replay old games.
Catch up on stuff too.
Yeah, play some stuff that I just never got around to, or just playing some old games that I love. The only games, I guess, new games I've recently been playing would be, I guess, Batman, the Telltale Batman series.
What'd you think of it?
Up. I like it so far. It's funny going in when this was first announced. I wasn't as excited as some people.
Really?
I love the Telltale games.
Yeah.
So I love like Wolf Among Us,
That's the best
The Walking Dead, the Game of Thrones. I thought was really good.
Yeah.
I wasn't that I wasn't excited. I didn't care for the Batman Telltale series, but Batman is such an oversaturated character. I mean, he's everywhere. I mean, we've had so many video games, based on this character. So it was almost like, well, one of the things I liked about Telltale is I felt like their brand of video games focused on franchises that we don't really get video games for. I know there has been a Walking Dead game, there has been a Game of Thrones game, but like maybe one, and they weren't even good. So and those are TV shows. They're more story driven, dialogue heavy. So it almost felt like, as my friend Dennis from Collider says, it's kind of like he calls it interactive TV, and it's fair to call it that. But I still like it. And so with Batman is not, I guess, maybe depending on your idea of Batman, Christopher Nolan or whatnot. When you think Batman, you think action. Heavy on the action. So anyways, because this character's been so oversaturated, it's like, all right, another Batman game. I hope they do a good job, but we'll see. How do they handle the action? You can't have a Batman game and not have there be any sort of action, fighting, things like that. That's part of who Batman is, aside from the obvious, like, detective skills and everything. So after playing that first episode, I was pleasantly surprised at how they handled everything. So how they handled his detective skills when he's, at a crime scene, piecing things together. The action, the way they handled the combos and his fighting, it was really well done. And I really love the story. I mean, again, I'm not going to ruin anything here for you, but I just finished playing episode 2 just last night, and they just keep it going. It's really good.
I actually think there's so much Batman that it's interesting to see the different variations and how different game developers create their own Batman. And I enjoyed this Telltale version. I thought that Batman, one of my favorite scenes was season 2's, or episode 2's rather, the bar scene. I'm not going to give it away, but it was nice to see him in that element. Well,
that was a perfect example of what I'm saying as far as like how they combine the control scheme, the fighting mechanics in a Telltale style game. And that worked really well, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I liked episode 2 more than episode 1. It was like getting better and better.
Yeah.
And episode 1 with the cliffhanger that leads into episode 2, and it's still unresolved. You're like, holy crap! I really, really enjoyed that.
And it's refreshing too because I love Telltale. I love their games, and I really wanted to play a good Telltale game because I recently finished up the Michonne Telltale game.
Did you like that one?
It was just okay.
Okay,
I love the Walking Dead series,
Yeah.
the Telltale Walking Dead series. So season 1 and 2, 3 coming out soon. I'm a huge fan of the series. Hell, I like that more than the show. But the Michonne, I was like, all right, this could be good. She's a great character, and it'd be nice. Maybe get a little more backstory, whatnot. And it wasn't that it wasn't good. It was good, but it just, I don't know, it was like more of the same. I just didn't, at the end of every episode, I was just like, all right, that's it. You know, whereas with The Walking Dead, I'm really looking forward to like Clementine and just what she's doing right now. But it wasn't that it was bad. I still enjoyed it, and I still think if you're a fan of The Walking Dead in general, check it out. And it's only 3 episodes long, so it isn't that much. I think the traditional number is like 5 to 6 for Telltale. It's only 3. Yeah, it was shown.
Yeah.
It's only 3 episodes long, so it's not that much. And again, it's not bad. Maybe I would probably wait if you can get it on sale. Get it on sale.
I think that my favorite Telltale of all time is The Wolf Among Us by far, and I'm so sad that season 2 has never been announced. It's the one that's based on the comic book Fables.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's so cool, and
so good.
I've read some of Fables, and the idea, the concept is really great.
So good.
And it was such a good game. And what I loved about it, too, like, I definitely love that crime noir, that detective, that dark alley stuff, and that's what you get. And just, like, visually, too, I love... Yeah, exactly. I love the visual style, the vibe, the tone of everything just really worked for me. And I'm with you. I can't believe... And the thing is, I know we're not in the minority here. There are a lot of people here that love The Wolf Among Us. So I'm really surprised that they haven't announced a second season.
Well,
shocking.
And they left a huge cliffhanger with the shock of what's her name? Faith? Was it Faith?
Oh, jeez.
She walked away or whatever with the ribbon. You're like, holy crap. Yeah. But even if we get a season 2 of Wolf Among Us, Bigby might not necessarily still be a playable character, which is interesting.
True. So who knows? And he doesn't really need to be in something like this.
Great.
He's great. The big bad wolf.
I have been playing this summer Fallout 4 as well.
Never got into that series.
It's a good game, but I am more looking forward to Skyrim Remastered coming out next month.
Never got into Skyrim.
Oh my god!
But I've said this before. You know this. I'm not really. I love sci-fi. I'm not really a fantasy guy. I love Lord of the Rings. I love stuff like that. I love Game of Thrones. But fantasy, dragons and stuff, it's cool. But it's not really my thing.
So you haven't played Shadows of Mordor?
Ooh.
Because I went to GameStop and they had it on sale for $10, and I'm thinking, should I get this as I play with my imaginary beard?
Was that 360 or Xbox?
It was a PS4.
Game, isn't it? Oh, okay.
It's a PS4 exclusive, maybe? I don't know if it has in PS. It probably does anyway. But so yeah, I was thinking about playing that. So I have been playing Fallout 4. Okay. I think once I beat Fallout 4, it lost its like I lost my interest in it.
Okay.
After a while, but it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. But then once you beat the main quest, you're just like, eh. Whereas in Skyrim, you meet the main quest and you want to do so much more with the game, and you can go back and replay.
Well, that's a big game. From I've spoken to a number of people that play that game, and you can play that game for hours. It's like a lifetime to get through that game.
It's the best.
And that's the thing too. It's just like I just don't know if I could commit that much time. It's like I play a game like I don't know. Granted, this game isn't as big as Skyrim because I haven't played Skyrim, but I know how huge Skyrim is. Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, and I love Grand Theft Auto 5. Love that game. For a good solid maybe 2 months, I played that game. But then after that, I'm like, I need to play something else. I got to do something else. It's too much.
I never beat Grand Theft Auto because I did so many side quests. After a while, by the time you hit the main quests, you're just like, oh my god, here it is again, robbing a bank, robbing this, robbing that, doing this heist, and you're just like, so I moved on.
And that's not a knock on the game. It's just just me. That's my style of play. After a while, like if anybody knows me, you guys know I love Call of Duty. But after a while, I'm just like a while playing Call of Duty, I'm like, all right, I need to play something else. I need to do something else. That's just the way I am.
But Grand Theft Auto did have Los Santos.
That game was great. I love Grand Theft Auto 5.
What other games are you looking forward to?
Well, there's a few. I mean, I'm a big fan of Titanfall, so Titanfall 2 is coming out.
Oh my god!
Again,
already?
Call of Duty is one of my franchises. I know some people love to, talk trash on the franchise, and it's all good. To each his own. Everybody has their own favorites, whatever it is that they like. It's perfectly fine. But for me, I like Call of Duty. It's fun. It's almost become like an annual event. Like it doesn't feel like fall until I have Call of Duty in my hands.
Yeah.
Gears of War 4 is another big one. I mean, I love that franchise. I was just recently replaying 1, 2, 3 and Judgment, and so just to get ready for this game, I was able to play a little Gears 4 at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Maybe anybody watching this, if you guys were down there, had a chance to play it. It looks pretty. It plays just like Gears of War. So I mean, it's, as long as it feels like it, looks like Gears of War, I'm down. So.
Okay. I'm looking forward to because I have a PS4. I never got the Rise of the Tomb Raider game.
It's so funny. It's like I keep forgetting that that's not on PS4 yet.
Nope.
Because I played that last year. That was my game of the year last year. That game blew me away. It was so good. I was just like, oh yeah. Because I just recently saw the stuff like at when PS4 was like, was it the Tokyo Game Show? I think it was just happened recently, and I remember seeing some clips from like, damn, that's right, that hasn't come out yet. Well, hey, if you guys have a PS4, I know you have one, and you haven't played it, you're in for a treat because that game was phenomenal.
Wow. I mean, the Tomb Raider, the
first one?
First one?
Yeah.
Was good too.
That game was great. This game's even better.
Looking forward to South Park, Fracture But the Whole. Because
it got pushed back, though.
Fun. I know.
Got pushed back to first quarter next year.
Like, what the hell?
So that could be, who knows when. That could be like March, for all we know. You know, but it's funny. So the Stick of Truth, I just finally get... Now, I love South Park. I've been watching South Park forever.
It's funny,
Love that show. I just got around to playing the game 2 months ago. Maybe it was on sale, so I picked it up. Wow, it was so damn funny.
It's so funny.
It's South Park. I mean, again, it's pretty much, if you've watched an episode of South Park and you know what South Park is about, that's what the game is.
Very impressed with how they did it. Like, the mechanics of the game as well as the story.
And it's funny because I'm not a fan of, like, traditional RPGs like that, like turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, turn-based.
I'm just not. But it's South Park, and it was funny, and so I'm like, I don't care. This is great. Yeah.
So good. There's also that one game, I forget what it's called, but it's with, like, that cat-looking thing that flies onto a platform. They showed it on E3 last year.
Yeah. Something Guardian.
Yes.
Something.
The Last Guardian?
Something like that.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway,
Wait, is that coming out
good.
this year? I can't remember.
Well, I think it might be next year, but
okay. Yeah, I know they showed it again this year at like E3.
Yeah.
You know, I keep forgetting about that game because they keep teasing it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, mother truckers.
Yeah, because I know, like, I never played. What was it? Ico?
What,
back in the day?
Dolphin?
No, not Ico the Dolphin. It's the same company. Ico, was it like Shadow of the Colossus? Shadow of the Colossus?
No.
Isn't it the same?
I don't know. I don't know who the developer is for that one.
Anyways, it looks good. I think it's going to be good.
What else? What other games? I mean...
Resident Evil 7 is one of those games that I'm a big Resident Evil fan. 6 was not great.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, I love Resident Evil. I've played every single one.
Do you like scary games?
Love it.
Have you played Five Nights at Freddy?
You know, no, I haven't played it, but I hear it's supposed to be really scary.
I can't play it by myself. I tried.
Is that bad?
Well, I don't get scared easily. Okay. Trust me, I don't get scared easily. But when there's a bear about to like kill you, it's a little scary.
Hold on, let me find something. I've got to get one right here that I love, and I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Uncharted was good. I'm looking at it.
Uncharted was great.
His game box.
Where is it? Until Dawn.
Oh, Until Dawn.
That's a game.
That's a good one.
This is a game. I just got my PS4 just a little before Uncharted 4 came out. So whatever month that was.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So I was looking for games to buy. I'd heard about this game. And I heard this game was supposed to be really good. I love horror films. I love slashers. 80s are the golden age of like the slashers. This is if you've never played this game or heard it, and if you're a fan, this is a game you should really play because I love this game. It really pays homage to those classic 80s films with teens going away, having sex when they shouldn't be because you know they're gonna get killed.
It's like Cabin in the Woods.
It really is, that movie was great.
Yeah.
But it's a scary movie.
Good choice.
It's a scary game rather. Yeah, I love that game. And I've heard about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I need to play it. I need to check that game.
I mean, that thing just blew up. You can play it on the toilet with an iPhone if you wanted to.
I hear it's good. Yeah. I love scary stuff, so I'm all about it. Put some headphones on and just go to town.
Yeah, that's right. So speaking of scary, Halloween's right around the corner.
Yeah.
What do you usually do for Halloween festivities? Especially now that you're in LA. We've got Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. Mm-hmm. It's not scary for me.
I will be soon going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Ooh.
I love Halloween Horror. Have you ever been?
Yes. Have you?
Oh, yeah. I've been before. Okay. I love Halloween Horror Nights.
Excuse me.
Universal... Get it together.
Like, oh, yeah.
Universal Studios. If you don't know what that is, it's Universal Studios. It's basically a ton of mazes built around themes. So, like, this year I know they have Exorcist. I believe American Horror Story is another one. Mm-hmm. So it's fun. I mean, it's crazy. If you've never been, I mean, the last time I was there was a couple years back, but it's got like flames everywhere. You guys see guys running around with fake chainsaws. It's just a lot of fun. If you love horror films, it's paradise, pretty much. As far as like, I never have anything specifically planned for Halloween. I'm always just go with the flow, whatever comes my way, whether that be like a party or a haunted house or whatever. But I'm all about it. Halloween, I love the holidays. And for me, the holidays start with Halloween and all the way through Christmas.
How cute.
So this whole period of time, I'm like in heaven.
Do guys hate when girls call them cute, by the way? Like, how cute? Like how I just said how cute.
No, I don't care. If you think it's cute, then it's cute. It's all good. No, but I love the holidays. I always have. I always will.
So what do you look forward to most for Halloween, other than Universal Horror Nights?
Watching horror films.
Okay.
It's fun. I mean, you can watch horror films whenever, but I especially love watching them during that time of the year because there's something about it. It's almost like watching Christmas movies. I'm not going to watch a Christmas movie in July.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Again, I can watch a horror film
can.
back then. You can do whatever you want.
I mean,
but it's just the feeling.
Jingle all the ways all year long.
There you
okay?
go. But it's one of those things that, like, again, I can watch. For example, the movie Halloween is one of my all-time favorite horror films. It just feels weird if I watch it any other time than like October.
Okay.
It just feels weird to me. You know what I mean? There's certain films. Again, there's stuff I can watch whenever, but certain films I feel like I need to watch around that time. Just sets the tone, gets things ready for me.
Okay, I don't. I mean, I like the. I don't know. As I got older, Halloween became a less and less of a crazy fun holiday for me.
We're not trick or treating. We're not doing anything like that.
For someone who's cosplayed for a while, I'm not really interested in dressing up this year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, can I just be this? This is my outfit for Halloween.
Pikachu.
You know, I thought you were Pikachu when I came by. I'm like, are you Pikachu? He's like, no. Look at this, you dumb. But I do like the mazes. I do like the festivities, and not just Universal, but they also have like people create their own individual mazes, and that's really fun. We have like the LA Hayride, for example, which is crazy.
You brought up mazes. Just brought up a memory. When I was a kid, me and a lot of my friends, I don't remember how old I was, but me and a bunch of my friends decided we were going to put together our own haunted house.
No, how cute.
So we went to I remember I was the Wolfman that year. Well, I mean, I had a wolf mask, so I was the Wolfman. So I just remember we put together a haunted house in my friend's basement, and we actually charged some of the neighborhood kids. Not a lot. I mean, maybe like 50 cents or something like that, whatever. So some kids came, they paid it, and so I remember I was the Wolfman, so I remember like hiding behind this corner, and I would jump out and scare them and stuff. It's fun. It's kind of cool when I think back now. It's like it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, we actually put that together in my friend's basement. It was a lot of fun. It's a great memory. Jeez, I don't even remember how old I was, but it was fun.
So instead of lemonade, you guys sold scares. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, lemonade is just played out. Haunted houses.
I think I saw a lemonade stand with kids selling like a couple weeks ago, and it was just the most random thing.
Well, it's funny because I feel like that's one of those things that you only ever see in TV,
like
1950s
movies. TV.
Like I feel like you would never really see a lemonade stand in real life. It seems like it's something that was made up for film and television.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, they had to get that idea somewhere.
Yeah, but it's interesting because it's like, I guess it fits because it's a really hot day or whatever. But so yeah, mazes I think is really awesome, and I also think it's really, as much as I don't like dressing up, I love watching people dress up, and I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with.
That's the thing, because I know you cosplay a lot, like you said earlier, and I don't.
So like
if I have an opportunity, if I go someplace, I'm all about dressing up.
Hey, look, if you need to borrow a Pikachu dress, you know who to call.
There you go. I might stretch it out. Sorry.
You'll be like buff Pikachu.
That's fine.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to all of that. So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we let myself eat?
No, I mean, I think this was a Halloween. It's something I'm just excited. I know we're still technically in September. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely in that camp where, as much as I love the holidays, don't rush me either. I was walking by, it was end of August, I'm walking by a Hallmark store, and they already had Halloween decorations out. And again, I love the holidays, but damn, slow it down a little bit. Like, let's take our time. Let's enjoy the rest of summer first.
I saw some Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff.
And that's the thing. I feel like now, I'm surprised you even saw Thanksgiving stuff, because I feel like we just completely bypass Thanksgiving altogether nowadays and go straight to Christmas.
I always feel like every year, the first couple months is kind of slow, but once we hit May, it just starts to zoom. Like,
oh yeah, I remember like at the start of the year thinking, damn, Comic-Con is like 3 months from now. And then I was like, damn, Comic-Con is tomorrow. I gotta start packing.
I know.
And then now it's just like, we're done.
It's insane.
So, it flies by.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Coming by, or me coming by, or whatever. And
come
back again, you hear? So, you guys, don't forget to press that thumbs up button and also subscribe, comment below, and tell us what you like in terms of movies, TV, games, what you're looking forward to for Halloween, or anything that you want to talk about. And thanks for stopping by, and also tell a friend today to get my subscription to grow. And thanks.
Tell a friend, and have them tell a friend.
Yes. Oh, you see?
There you go.
That would be a great Christmas present. Anyway, so thanks again. Talk to you guys later. Bye.